This lesson will cover modifying pipes. So if we want to modify a pipe, let's first select a pipe within one of our systems. Who's going to choose a pipe on the right? Now when I choose this pipe on the right, I see a variety of options on the ribbon to the upper right. One is I have slope. I can apply a slope rule to the specific pipe or pipe segment. If I'm drawing pipes and I do have a slope rule already applied, I could choose to ignore it if it's not allowing me to connect the pipe based on that rule. You can also add insulation, and I also can change my duct piping size for the various methods and constraints that are applied to this pipe. And click cancel. Now if you select, let's say, 2 pipes or 3 pipes that are aligned together, you can actually choose the alignment or how they're justified. If I click justify on the ribbon, I'm presented with what system to choose. And then in the upper left, I'm also asked, how would you like to justify these? This is also the same information you'll actually see in the properties window from that pipe. Right now, mine are aligned middle center. Then click cancel. And I can see now in the properties area that also aligned middle center. Now, another thing you may want to do is change the actual properties of the pipe. So if you click on the pipe, the properties will be on the left. This is where I could change the offset, the level, the system that it's associated with or not, the pipe segments, or any other values that are displayed here that I may want to update or change. You also have the ability to edit the pipe. In this case, I can come in and change my routing preferences if I want to, or duplicate this pipe type or make a new pipe type. Click cancel. And click in the background viewer to deselect. You also can modify the physical pipe by moving it. For example, if I select the vertical pipe, I actually have drag handles on each end. Moving over one of those, holding the left mouse button down, will allow me to drag that pipe to a new position and ultimately disconnect that pipe if I only choose that one segment. Now I can always drag that pipe back to its vertical position, and I can also drag it back into alignment or connect it back to a point and this original configuration with the pipe that it was once connected to. In this lesson, we looked at different ways to modify pipes. We looked at ways to modify the data of pipes. We looked at ways to modify the physical characteristics of pipes and to actually move pipes. In this lesson, we'll cover adding pipe accessories. So you may ask, well, what is a pipe accessory? Well, a pipe accessory could be a valve, could be a temperature gauge, and a pressure gauge. But we also have pipe fittings. Those could be an outlet or end cap. So let's look at both of those examples here within our Revit project. I'm going to zoom in the upper left corner of my Crop Revit project, and what you'll notice is I have a pipe run coming out from the main pipe system, and it just stops abruptly. Well, what we want to do with this pipe is actually put an end cap on the end of it, and once we do that, we actually like to drop in a valve. So we'll use the pipe fitting and the pipe accessory tools to do both. So let's go to the Systems tab on your ribbon, and then in the Plumbing and Pipe panel, first we'll click Pipe Fitting. Now, if you don't have any pipe fittings preloaded, Revit will prompt you to load a family of pipe fittings. You can also do that right now if you wanted to. Click Load Family and load additional families. However, in this Revit project, we already have the families loaded that we need for this example. So I'm going to use the MCAP generic standard end cap to place on the end of this pipe. So basically what I need to do once I select the actual property of what I'm using is to mouse it over the actual center line of the pipe. And then I will move out to the end and snap this off of the end of the actual pipe itself. When you see a position like you see on my screen, simply click that object snap, and what will happen is Revit will snap that pipe fitting to the end of the pipe segment. Click Modify. Now another example is to place a pipe accessory. So the pipe accessory is right below pipe fitting. Let's go ahead and click Pipe Accessory. And again, in the Properties area on the left, I have my accessories listed. For this example, we're using the ball valve 2-inch. So I'll just verify that I have the 2-inch ball valve selected because that's equivalent to the actual pipe diameter. 50 millimeters is 2 inches. So again, same as you did with the pipe fitting, the pipe accessory is placed the same way. Move your mouse over the pipe until you see the actual center line. When you see the center line, go ahead and left click. This will add that pipe accessory into the actual pipeline or pipe segment. Make the appropriate cuts for that accessory to be added. And again, I can continue to place more if I choose, or simply click Modify. Now the accessories, depending upon the symbol, do have tools to actually flick the orientation, in this case of the handle if I wanted to. And I also have the drag tools, or the drag modes, to actually move the actual location of this or the settings off of each end. To see this in 3D, let's scroll down to your 3D plans and double click on the typical WSHP 3D view, and then zoom in. This will show the actual two elements. We just add one, the end cap, which is a pipe fitting, and two, the actual valve, which is a pipe accessory. So as a review, in this lesson, we looked at adding pipe accessories and pipe fittings. We talked about the differences between the pipe fitting and pipe accessories, but we talked about the method of how to actually add those. We also mentioned how to load additional components, or things or accessories, if they're currently not in your Revit project. It's also needed for analysis. Basically, it'll analyze everything in that system or what belongs to that system. So to create a system, I need to first create at least one piece of equipment for my capital element. That way I can start to build that mechanical system, in this case the piping system. I can add everything to it first, or I can add things to it as I go. So on my screen, I've actually added two more additional mechanical elements. But if I mouse over each one, you'll see the mechanical equipment element on the left has been added, and the one on the right has been added. Highlights even belong to a system that are just floating, and I'm going to use those two as an example to add a new system. To bring up the system browser, go to the View tab on your ribbon, then all the way to the right to User Interface, and checkmark System Browser. This will turn on System Browser. On a System Browser, verify you accept the systems, and set the secondary category for discipline to piping. This will list all piping systems and anything not assigned to a piping system. So currently right now, I say I have 8 piping systems. The one we're going to add is going to be an additional hydraulic supply system. So it's going to be listed under the hydraulic supply that I have highlighted on my screen. So to do this, all we have to do is simply highlight the components, or in this case, the mechanical equipment that we want to add to this new system. So I'm going to window these in. I'm just going to drag a window from left to right around the 2 yellow elements that currently do not belong to any system. Now, if you accidentally grab more than what you want, you can use the filter button to filter out all the elements that you don't want. Or you simply know the control key and select both of these pieces of mechanical equipment. Now, once you do this, and if these do not belong to a system, on the ribbon to the very right, you'll have a systems panel. This will ask you what type of systems you want to create. Even these pieces of mechanical equipment can have all 3 systems, duct, power, and piping. I have the choice to create one of all 3, or all 3. In this instance here, I'm just going to choose piping. What will happen next is Revit is going to ask us, well, what type of system you want to add. In this case, I'm going to add a hydraulic supply system. As you can see, you could choose different ones if you want to. I'm going to name the system just so it stands out, hydraulic supply 100. Now, I can open this in the system browser right now if I want to, in the editor, to add additional things to it, but I'm not going to. I'll show you how to actually do that in a separate step. So with these said, just click OK. It's going to ask me now, based on the connectors on each of these units, which one do you want to use? Well, I'm going to use connector 1 on the hydraulic supply, round 20mm pipe. Click OK. I am going to use the same one on the other unit. Click OK. What that will do is add these 2 elements, in this case these 2 pieces of mechanical equipment, to the hydraulic supply 100 system. And I see this now in my system browser on the right. And I can expand it, and you'll actually see both of those elements that were added to the system browser. Now, if you were to add additional elements to the actual system, this is where you can edit the system. So if I click on the hydraulic supply 100 system, Under Rivet in System Tools, I could choose Edit System. Doing so will bring up a new ribbon, allowing me to add new elements to the system. So once you have your pipe system created and your mechanical equipment for your pipe system, the next step is to actually lay out your pipes. Now you could lay these out manually by choosing a pipe and then adding segments from one point to another point. You can also use a pipe placeholder, basically a conceptual way of laying out the pipes and then later on converting those pipes. The way above that is first just display the system browser. If you do not see the system browser as you see on my screen, you can view it by going to the View tab on the ribbon, all the way to the right to the User Interface drop-down, and then check on System Browser. This will turn on the System Browser. Verify Systems is selected in the View, and then Piping is selected for this one. This will just show Piping Systems. Now the piping system that we want to use to route in this example is the Hydraulic Supply 100 system. Basically, it only contains the two pieces of mechanical equipment that you see on your screen, surrounded by the dashed lines. We want to route piping from one unit to the other unit. So to do this, go ahead and select the Hydraulic Supply 100 system. Then on your ribbon in the Layout panel, you have two options: the Layout pipes, where to lay out the placeholder pipes. Again, the placeholder pipes are just singular lines used to actually conceptually lay out your pipes. They could be converted to full pipes or regular pipes at a point. In this example, though, we're going to use Generate Layout. So when you click Generate Layout, the ribbon changes. It's presenting you now with solutions, and you have solution types. And you can see on your screen, it's routing pipes now from one unit to the other unit in one of three options, and this being the first option. If I hit the right arrow for my next solution, it will show me another route. Hit the arrow again to see another route. Then as you can see, you have different options of different types of solutions for routing your pipes from one point to another point. The Settings tab actually controls the main branch lines of what the offsets would be from the level they're bound to or referenced at. So 2,750 milliliters, roughly about 8.5 feet. Go ahead and click OK. And you also could apply slope value. Slope value if I need to slope these pipes from one point to another point. You can also change the solution type to perimeter intersections. Again, changing these will give me different options. So for perimeter, I have a value that I can set. It'll actually route the pipes based on these values. And again, I have different options of what I'll be given or presented with based on what I want to choose. Once you have an actual route that you like, that you want to use, you can accept it. You can also use the Edit Layout button all the way to the left of the ribbon to actually modify this current route. And again, once you find the route that you like, simply click Finish Layout. Once you click Finish Layout, the pipes will be generated in their full realistic mode, routed from one point to another point within your system. If I zoom in, I can actually see these pipes are the real pipes drawn at the full scale, with all of the attributes and all the parameters of full piping. So as a review, in this lesson, we looked at a way to automatically route pipes from one point to another point.